So you love patches, or you love making them for yourself, but you do not know how to adhere them to your projects. There are two ways to do that, and I'll be showing you using this hat that I turned beautiful like this. Don't go anywhere. Hey lovelies, this is Annie with Annie Marie. If you're new here, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. So there are two ways we can adhere this to our project: by sewing it on with zigzag or satin stitches, or by using the Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. So I'm going to show you first with the Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. Okay, here we go. The Heat and Bond Ultra Hold, we're going to be using it to adhere the patch on our project. Okay, it has the peppery side, which we're going to discard, and of course the shiny side that is going to be glued on the patch. Okay, we're going to be using iron or heat press to do this. It all depends on what you have available. Okay, and once you glue it on, we're going to remove the back. You peel it off, and then you use that glue to attach this patch to your project. I'm going to be doing it off camera. So I have it at the back of the patch now, and I'm going to be removing this paper back, okay, just to iron it on the cap. All right, so you can actually sell it off like this if you're selling your patches, and then the person that buys it, they're going to glue it or iron it on their project. So now I'm going to make sure that it's well centered, or I can sew it on, depends on me. Okay, but now we're going to glue it on so that you see how it will look like when we glue it on. Make sure that the design is well centered, all right, so that it will look perfect. And then I'm going to also show you how to sew it on. So we're going to peel off this paper back, all right, just throw it away. Like I said, if you're selling it, you need to keep it on, okay? But if you want to make the work the project yourself and you're selling it yourself, you need to iron it all and sell it as the product. So I'm going to put it well centered, and I'm going to iron it on off camera. So sorry, but I'm going to show you the end result. All right, and this is it, looking beautiful. Remember, this iron on is Heat and Bond Ultra Hold. Okay, if we're going to sew around it, we're going to be using Heat and Bond Light. Okay, that's the one that needles can penetrate. That's the one that will not gum up your needle and your sewing machine. Please take note of the difference. All right, so let's go on ahead and sew it on. For this, you can use a sharp ballpoint or anti-glue needle. Okay, for my machine, I choose the number 4 stitch, and I also choose the proper presser foot for it, and I choose my stitch width to be 3.5 and the stitch length to be 0.5. okay, so you make sure that you know your machine very well. Test it out before you start working on your project. Always use scrap fabrics to test things out. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch it around my patch, knowing fully well that it's going to work for the same satin stitch that I did in my embroidery machine. So here on the machine, I made sure that I started from the center. You know, the cap has a beak, you know, it has the center, you know, the center is a little bit peaked, so I used that place as my center, and I made sure that my patch was well centered on it, also using my Heat and Bond Light. Okay, so I started from the center to make sure that it is not going to shift throughout my stitch out. Now you have to go slowly, very slowly. This is circular in shape, right? So you need to make sure that you're moving your patch, the cap, as it's going gently. Okay, here you're not in a marathon. Okay, you don't have to walk very fast because you want to finish the project on time. Hell no, you need to go gently so that the stitching out is going to come out perfect. You can see how I'm going around the machine, and if you notice, I used the free arm. Okay, I removed the accessory box and I'm using it the free arm way, and it works perfectly for this kind of project. Okay, so once you get to the end, make sure you go beyond your starting point just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit beyond the starting point so that it will look perfect. Another thing also is make sure you always use a thread color that is in contrast with your patch. I don't know, it makes patches look beautiful. And if you've not watched that video, you would go to the description and watch that video because it was detailed for every beginner out there. All right, so I'm almost getting to the end of my satin stitch, and trust me, this is going to look good. Okay, remember what I said earlier, test out your stitch length and stitch width until you get the one that works perfectly for your project. Okay, so once I get to the end of this, what I'm going to do is to just simply bring it out. Then I'm going to trim it off, make sure that the edges look perfect. And now we're at the end of the project. So I'm raising my needle, and of course I'll raise my presser foot, and I'm going to bring out my project. Now another thing is, if you look at the back of the cap, you will see that I unhooked it. Okay, you know, it has something at the back that helps it to fit. Okay, that is actually that you can adjust. So I opened it completely so that it will walk around my free arm. You can see the free arm. Okay, and once I'm done, I'm going to use my scissors to trim out the thread, and trust me, you will enjoy doing this. So I have two favorite ways of adding my patches: iron on, and of course stitching it. But for my caps, I prefer stitching it on because it's going to make it last longer, and you're going to rock it for many times. You can see how it's well centered. Okay, so start your project from the center. You see how I unhook the back so that it can walk through my free arm, and it's going to be all fun all the way. I hope you enjoyed this. This looks good. I mean, real good. We did it. And there you have it. I hope you had fun with me, darling. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, share your thoughts at the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Until later, lovelies.